If you look at the links above my head right now, you're going to see links to 2 videos that I did over the course of the weekend. Basically about the 2 biggest talking points in wrestling other than wrestling. Daniel Bryan's retirement and Titus O'Neil's suspension. I told you guys you were going to get, last week on my Monday Night Raw review, you were going to get a video, my thoughts on Daniel Bryan and his retirement and rah-de-rah-de-rah. And after a 1-liter bottle of Smirnoff vodka, you got a 45-minute ramble on that. You also got my quick and somewhat poignant, somewhat controversial thoughts on the suspension of Titus O'Neil. Now, I will say, and I do want to thank you guys, like I said, the links will be above my head somewhere in the annotations. I did expect to do that Titus O'Neil video and get a lot of backlash. The response I've gotten on it so far is a lot more positive and a lot more reasonable than I would have expected if you look back at some of my videos, like the video I did on Naomi not too long ago. So I do want to thank you guys for that. I do want to take this minute, as opposed to normally just coming up with a quick, half funny one-liner that maybe I'm the only one that thinks is funny. Draw your guys' attention to those last 2 videos in case you missed them. Give them a look. Let me know, honest to God, what you guys think. You don't have to agree with me. Just don't be a dick. It's about that. Now, as far as Monday Night Raw goes, my buddy Dean Ambrose there, he had a bad night tonight. So let's just hope that the old saying, when one door closes, another one opens, holds true for Ambrose. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your Raw review for February 15th. And I want to say a couple of things. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you guys had a happy Valentine's Day yesterday. I don't particularly believe in the bullshit holiday, but for those of you that do, I hope you had a good one. For those of you that have loved ones to share it with, I hope you guys had an excellent time. Now, for my friends up here in Canada, I want to wish you guys today a happy Family Day, which is our thing up here in Canada. For my friends in the States, I understand that it is President's Day for you, so I hope you guys found something to do as well. For the people around the rest of the world, I hope you had a nice Monday. I don't even know. Now, going into this show, we watched the pre-show. The pre-show gave us a lot of information. I know you guys, some of you guys are like, why the hell do you watch the pre-show? It's just the same video footage that we're going to see sometime over the course of the Raw. It just gives me an idea of what I have to look forward to, quite honestly, what I need to focus on when I'm doing my notes and whatnot. But we heard on the pre-show, which is a lot of fun, like the team they've got on there right now, the main guy whose name I can never remember, Scott Stanford, there we go. Otunga, Graves, and Booker T are a great little team there. We knew that we were going to get a Brie Bella exclusive interview tonight on Raw. We were going to see Styles versus The Miz, which makes me a happy boy. Paul Heyman was going to be there to address Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. We're going to get Mark Henry versus Big E Langston, coming off of that big four-man tag team debacle that we had last week. We're going to have Strowman versus The Big Show, which I'm sure is exciting for everybody. Don't mean exciting in the chance that you want to see it. I mean exciting that we're getting it out of the way now and we're not going to see it at a pay-per-view. And they remind us that we're going to have The Big Show on Austin's podcast later tonight. I haven't watched that yet. I literally switched off Raw. I'm talking to you guys right now. I will watch The Big Show podcast thing at some point. If you guys want me, I don't typically talk about the podcast because it's more a case of I could come up here and tell you guys what they said. You don't really need me to do that. If you want to know what they said, you can watch it yourselves. But if there is, for some reason, a reason why you guys really want me to review the podcasts when they come up, I will consider it. I'm not saying I will necessarily do it, but I will consider it. Monday Night Raw starts off tonight with the contract signing debacle from last week. Lesnar, Ambrose, and all their, squaring off and him calling out Lesnar. And how eventually Roman Reigns distracted Lesnar and Ambrose got the upper hand with a low blow. Ambrose comes out, talks about Sunday being the fight of his life, talks about how he's sick of hearing the old cliche, oh, it's brother versus beast, talks about Lesnar being a bully and giving him a low blow last week is just what he had to do to survive, calls out Lesnar to finish the job. Lesnar doesn't come out. We know that Lesnar's not going to come out. We know that Paul Heyman's coming out later tonight. We know that Lesnar's showing up on SmackDown. We get Stephanie McMahon instead. And JBL is brilliant. Stephanie McMahon's music hits, and he says at the top of his lungs, that's not Brock Lesnar. Good job, JBL. He mocks Ambrose for his lack of performance last week. He says you needed Roman Reigns' help and a low blow to get the upper hand on Lesnar. Hypes up the triple threat match for Sunday, and she says you're gonna get an F5 tonight. But tonight, F5 means fatal five-way for the Intercontinental Championship. Roman Reigns is banned from the ringside area from helping you win this match, and if Roman Reigns helps you win tonight, you will be disqualified from the triple threat on Sunday, which is a really, really interesting thing, because you want to play up the idea that Roman Reigns wants to help his buddy maintain his Intercontinental Championship, but you also want to play up that Roman Reigns may be a bit selfish and help his buddy to help himself on Sunday, so he has a one-on-one match with Brock on Sunday, which doesn't make much sense, because we've already proven one-on-one that Roman Reigns is going to get owned, one-on-one that Dean Ambrose is going to get owned. So yeah, he would have one less opponent, but he would have one less person to help him out on Sunday, so that much didn't make much sense. But what did make sense was the fact that we got this fatal five-way right now. Dean Ambrose defending against Kevin Owens, Stardust, Tyler Breeze, and Dolph Ziggler. So you take the three guys that we've seen fight a lot in Ambrose, Owens, and Ziggler, and throw in Stardust for reasons and Tyler Breeze because he's not doing anything else right now. This is a five-person match. This is a five-person brawl. My notes are not what I would like them to be, but I will give you guys the high points. When the match starts, we've got Ziggler and Owens brawling in one corner, continuing that feud. We've got Breeze and Stardust double-teaming Ambrose in the other corners. We've got one feud over here. We got two random heels that aren't doing anything, following the all heels get along rule and double-teaming the champion. It's good storytelling right off the bat. Double choke by Stardust and Breeze on Ambrose on the ropes. Ziggler slams Owens on the commentary table. Chops and punches by Ambrose to Stardust. A slam by Ambrose and Ziggler and Owens brawl on the outside. A knockdown by Owens on Ambrose when he's not looking. Big old club to the back, as Owens will do because he's got the size advantage. He's the bigger guy, and also he's the heel. Owens and Ambrose trade punches. Ambrose eats turnbuckle and mudhole stomps by Owens. And this is one of those things where there's a pile of people match, and all but two of them sort of fall to the wayside so that you can, focus on two people, and then they fall down, and then focus on two more people. And that, eventually, does make my note-taking a little bit easier, but not by much. Boot by Ambrose, who dumps out Owens. A dropkick, a corner splash, and a neckbreaker by Ziggler to Ambrose, taking advantage of the distraction. Ambrose dumps Ziggler on the outside. Side effect on Ambrose by Stardust, which is cool, makes me mark. You guys know I'm a Hardy fan. See something like the Whisper in the Wind or the Side Effect, I'm gonna mark it every time. That's just a thing. Enziguri from Breeze to Stardust. Owens power bombs Breeze. This is a fucking fantastic move. Ambrose is completely out of the equation. Owens has Breeze, the smallest guy in the match, so the easiest guy to manhandle, I suppose. But Ziggler and Stardust are battling on the outside. Owens power bombs Breeze out of the ring onto Ziggler and Stardust. Nice spot by everybody involved. Dirty Deeds on Owens fails. Pop-up powerbomb on Ambrose fails. A rebound suicide dive by Ambrose onto Stardust and Ziggler does look good. Spinning neckbreaker and a standing elbow drop on Owens. Breeze and Stardust trade kicks as we go to commercial break. Stardust and Ambrose trade punches, corner splash and a bulldog by Ambrose, top rope X Factor on Ambrose by Ziggler. Ziggler eats the post shoulder first, Stardust hits a disaster kick on Breeze, Owens hits a super kick on Stardust. Owens cannonballs everybody because everybody's down. All four of his opponents are down in the four respective corners. He hits the cannonball on everybody but Breeze, who immediately pops up, hits the supermodel kick and the beauty shot. Ambrose tosses out Breeze, he clotheslines Stardust. Ziggler hits the zigzag on Ambrose, who's hitting the Dirty Deeds on Stardust. It's another nice little spot. Breeze tosses out Ziggler, pop-up powerbomb to Breeze by Owens, gets Owens the win and the Intercontinental Championship back. It's good. We have an interview as we come back from commercial break with Dean Ambrose talking about how he's pissed and how, like I said in my opening thing, there, you take something out of your hand, it's so that you can reach up for something greater, gotta focus my anger on this Sunday. And the typical babyface through adversity type of thing with a little bit of Dean Ambrose flair to it. We come back to ringside where Michael Cole says, oh, wait, we're not done. We've got to go back to Renee Young because Owens is there demanding an interview. Ziggler steps up to Owens immediately, pointing out that he's a new champion. There's a pay-per-view this Sunday, and you need a challenger, and it's going to be me. You got to give these people what they want, because I deserve to be your first contender. And he says, nah, it's good. we replay the New Day. We replay the New Day meeting Edge and Christian in the backstage area from last September. And we do this because the New Day at your tag team champions, the New Day, on Sunday at Fastlane, are not in a match. They're on the Cutting Edge Peep Show, hosted by Edge and Christian, for reasons. Anyways, I've heard the rumors that this is going to be used to introduce Enzo and Cass. If they do introduce Enzo and excuse me, guys. If they do introduce Enzo and Cass this Sunday at Fastlane, I do hope they get they get to look good and whatnot against the New Day. I don't want them to win immediately, because if they win immediately, they're a tag team. Once you've won the tag team titles, where do you go up? Where do you have a chance to grow from that? If they are using this to facilitate the introduction of Enzo and Cass onto the main roster, no problem with that whatsoever. But all this leads to Big E versus Mark Henry, which you don't think is going to be good, but it's a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. You guys know I don't mind like the big man matches at the best of times, but looking at this and knowing that I've got Braun Strowman versus the Big Show later on in the night, which flavor of shit do I like better? Collar double tie up and a gut shot by Big E and a slam by Mark Henry. Several headbutts by Mark Henry and a junkyard dog style crawling headbutt. Clothesline on the outside by Big E and a rail shot. Mudhole stomp back inside the ring by Big E Langston. Running splash by Big E twice, and it's good, and the commentators do a great job of going through the slow-mo replay and look at the height a guy that size can get. That part of it is good. A hip toss and a clothesline by Henry and a boot. Big E goes for the big ending, and here's where the match kind of falls apart, and I'm thinking that somebody got injured somewhere, because he gets him up. He doesn't struggle to get him up for the big ending. He does, in fact, get all of Mark Henry up for the big ending, which is impressive as fuck, but Henry kind of rolls off his shoulder to the ground. Big E gets a quick victory, and we get off of this match pretty quick. Now, I'm going to guess that there's something wrong with Mark Henry's midsection, and that's why this match ended this way, because if not, this was just a really awkward way to end a match. Like I say, better than I thought, but not by much. What can I really say? It got the New Day out there so that the commentators could talk about what's happening on Sunday. Pretty much. Brie Bella's exclusive interview is not a backstage segment. It's not a pre-recorded thing. It's in the ring with Byron Saxton for reasons. They talk about Bryan's retirement, and that's pretty much it, because they get cut off by Charlotte. Charlotte comes out and mocks Daniel Bryan's retirement. With some fake sentimentality, talking about how you need to treat every day like it's their last. Asks Brie Bella what kind of woman she is, going back to work and going back to being a superstar and whatever, and leaving her husband at home to know that his career is over. Oh, maybe it's because you're the only one working now and you guys need the money. You should be a good sister and a good wife. You should go home to your retired husband and your injured sister, and we don't need you here, type thing. Brie points out that tossing Bryan and Nikki in her face means that she's grasping at straws. She's trying to get a mental advantage because you can't beat me on Sunday. She's disgusted to see what the champion has become. And Charlotte has no character, so she has to go with the personal jab once again and says, "You don't like what I've become as champion? What will become of your disgusting vegan goat-faced babies?" Brie beats the crap out of her. Charlotte bails because that's what she does. We see a video on the Wyatts. This segment was horrible. Brie Bella did her best to hold this segment up, and it just didn't work because Charlotte is terrible. Charlotte's a phenomenal wrestler, don't get me wrong. Charlotte is a phenomenal talent in the ring. I will never take that away from her, but as a character, she's terrible. She just is. We see a video package. We see a couple of these throughout the night. This new idea that the Wyatts are taking out the Titans of WWE, which would be a great story if WWE weren't calling Big Show, Kane, and Ryback the Titans of the WWE. Why? It's one of those things where I can see where it's going. We can all see where it's going 10 miles away, and I don't like it at all. Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family are being wasted on this stuff. Miz versus AJ Styles with Jericho on commentary. We go over the whole you know, basically the fighters' love triangle that's going on between Miz and Jericho and AJ Styles. We talk about how Styles knocked out Miz's teeth. We talk about how Jericho and Styles are 1 win apiece. Jericho's still doing this thing where he's not really devoted to being a heel. He's on commentary saying that he doesn't like AJ Styles, but then talking about how much he respects him. He's walking that line of balance. He's, you know, cocky babyface or really, really nice heel, depending on how you want to look at it. But a cheap shot and a mudhole stomp by Miz to start the match. Elbow by Styles, boot by Miz, chops by Styles, and a kitchen sink by Miz. Choke on the ropes by the Miz, who knees AJ Styles in the back. He does sort of go for that surfboard stretch thing, but he lets go of his arms pretty quickly, and it's just a knee in the back. Miz rides a headlock for a while. Back and neckbreaker by the Miz and a knee to the face. Styles face plants the Miz, like takes one of his legs and sweeps it right out from under him, so he plants face first. Miz tosses Styles outside the ring. Suicide double dropkick by The Miz is cool and not expected from somebody like The Miz, who's not known particularly as a high flyer. Miz talks shit to Jericho on commentary. Jericho talks shit back in turn. Poetry in motion style forearm by Styles off the steps catches Miz in the face. It's nice. It's the second, and I don't care if you guys want to call me a mark, it's the second Hardy-esque maneuver that's been on this show tonight, and you know, you got the winks and the nods from that, and to me, being a Hardy mark, admittedly and honestly, I don't mind that whatsoever. Top rope double axe handle by Miz as we come back from commercial break, and a headlock, jawbreaker by Styles, a boot, a clothesline, an elbow, and a flying forearm. Corner splash by Styles, pump handle gutbuster by Styles is cool. You think he's going to go up for the pump handle backbreaker, but flips Miz in mid-rotation and turns it into a gutbuster. It's nice. Chop block and a from the knees DDT by the Miz. Crazy punches, kicks, and a boot and a Pele by Styles. Styles is crotched, Miz eats the turnbuckle. They're basically countering each other's whatever they're trying to do on the turnbuckle. AJ goes up to the top, he gets crotched. Miz tries to take advantage of the crotching and eats turnbuckle. It's good. Springboard forearm by Styles, skull crushing finale by the Miz, mudhole by the Miz, calf crusher by Styles, which is a pretty move. Styles gets the win. Jericho and Styles have some banter after the fact. Styles cuts him off, says, "I'm pretty sure you're going to want round 3 with me at Fastlane." Jericho says, I'll think about it. I'll let you know on SmackDown. So we're getting Styles Jericho at Fastlane. That's a thing. Dudley Boys come out to cut the same promo that they cut on SmackDown pretty much. They mock the fans for wanting tables. They call out the Usos knowing the Usos aren't there. The Usos are just like the fans. They were hoping that we would just come back and be a happy, smiling nostalgia act. We are the baddest tag team on the planet and the tables are gone forever. Get the tables is going to fall on deaf ears from now on. This is one of those promos that goes on and on and on, and you expect it to be interrupted by somebody. Even after they were done, when their music hit again, they're posing on the ropes, they did it for an extended period of time. So this promo, while it was okay, while it was them going out there and being dicks, which I like, because they're heels now, it didn't go anywhere. And we didn't set up anything for Fastlane. So, the tag team champions aren't fighting at Fastlane, as far as we know, and the Dudleys, who've just turned heel for no reason, aren't doing anything at Fastlane yet, unless they're going to get met by the Usos on SmackDown, unless we're going to get something else for the New Day at Fastlane. There's things happening in the tag division. There are. Why are we beeping? Why is this a thing? But none of it's happening at Fastlane. If they're setting these things in motion now for WrestleMania, I can get that, but we've got a lot of time between Fastlane and WrestleMania to build up whatever the tag team match is going to be at WrestleMania. So they need to, whatever story they're putting into place now, I guess what I'm saying is something at least relating to that story has to happen at Fastlane, and we don't have a clue right now, other than the fact that the New Day are going to do an interview with Edge and Christian, who can't wrestle because they're both retired and one of them's not medically clearable, ever, as much as I would like to see Edge and Christian versus the New Day. We see, you know when you see the shot of somebody coming down the hallway in the back, it's like, coming up next, we've got Paige in action, and I'm like, okay, it's all good. Paige is kind of face right now, so she's either going to face Charlotte, or she's going to face one of either Naomi or Tamina. It's all good. I can make fun of Charlotte, I can make fun of Naomi, or I can make fun of Tamina. Happy fucking days. Come back, and Paige is facing Summer Rae. Again, for reasons. Shoves by Summer Rae to start and a takedown by Paige. Summer Rae hits this thing where she goes almost, it looks like she's going for a cradle DDT, but she rolls all the way through into a mounted punches type scenario, and it looks good. 3 arm drags by Summer, a boot, a trip, and a running knee by Paige, a head and shoulder takedown by Paige, and 10 suspended knees on the apron by Paige, which is always good, and it just looks like she's going kind of crazy when she does it, which is great. High heel, they call it on commentary, a high heel kick by Summer, and a leg drop ×2. One is bed, leg drop, 1 is good, 2 must be better. Choke on the ropes by Summer and a headlock, snapmare, and a super kick by Paige. A high knee in the corner and a running knee by Paige. Paige goes for the PTO, which gets countered into a very lackluster roll-up and gets the win for Summer Rae. Why? I don't even know. Heyman comes out, talks up Lesnar, talks up the triple threat match, talks about what Lesnar's going to do at WrestleMania. You know, sort of giving the idea that Fastlane is a foregone conclusion. We're going to talk about WrestleMania. Calls out Roman Reigns because he wants to give respect to Roman Reigns because, you know, man to man, I should say these things to your face. Talks him up, gives him a lot of respect, but says he can't win on Sunday. Tries to plant a whole lot of seeds of doubt and mistrust between himself and Dean Ambrose. Roman's response is basically, I've beaten Ambrose before. It wasn't easy. I haven't beaten Brock, but I have beaten his ass. Which doesn't sound gay at all. I'm going to do both on Sunday, and I'm going to WrestleMania to become the world champion, rah, rah, rah. Heyman leaves. Roman Reigns gets to look, you know, okay, you scared away a manager. So, moderately scary Roman Reigns, until he gets the shit kicked out of him by the Dudley Boys, which I'm fucking loving, because you know eventually that's going to bring out Ambrose. Ambrose is going to even the odds, the Dudleys are going to bail, and this is a thing. We're going to get a tag team match later on. But while they're high-fiving and fist-bumping in the ring, Ambrose tries to lock in a quick dirty deeds on Roman. Roman fights out of it. They both have sort of a nervous laugh, and Ambrose, trying to be the big guy and puff out his chest a little bit, says, you want to go to Mania, you got to be faster than that. And then they fist-bump again and walk away. It's, I don't know. It's one of those, they could be just friendly joshing each other around, or they could be really feeling each other out. We get the announcement that the Vincent J. McMahon Legacy of Excellence Award is going to be presented next week on Raw. It's going to be the most prestigious thing they've ever handed out in WWE, and not until now has there been somebody worthy of this award. Which means we're either going to see a new award, you know, laid out. It's going to be something like the Warrior Award. Somebody's going to get acknowledged for their charity work or who makes the company look really good or whatever. Or it's going to be total bullshit and Triple H is going to, like, give it to himself as a storyline fixture. Either way, I'm kind of interested. It's a nice looking trophy. I'm hoping that if Vince McMahon is using his father's name on something, that it's going to be something. I don't care if it's necessarily the big prestigious award we all want it to be, or if it becomes a really strong part of a storyline. I just don't want it to be nothing. How's that? Heath Slater, along with the Social Outcasts, versus Zack Ryder. And I know, for most people, this is the match where we all get up and take a piss, go refill our drink, or just make fun of everybody involved. But I kind of laughed at this, because a couple years ago I made a point that there were no bottom of the card feuds. We have a mid card and we have a main event scene. Mid card, by definition, middle, which means you're acknowledging that there is a lower card. There are no low card feuds, and there should be. There should be when guys like Tyler Breeze come in, because you don't want to be thrown right into the mid-card scene right away, because you're starting, you know, started at the bottom, now I'm here, you know, if I want to make a musical, really bad musical pun. But there should be low-card feuds. And I said, for lack of any better term, for two guys that are sort of comedy-ish, the best comedy low-card feud you could possibly put together would be Heath Slater and Zack Ryder. Because although they're never really given any storyline, they're not really given any character, we're never really given a reason to give a shit about them, both of these guys can go in the ring. So I don't know why they're not. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just, you know, hopeful beyond all hope. Maybe I'm just that guy. But these guys are good. So when I saw they were going to work together, I was like, all right, Of course, it's a short match, and WWE treats this match the way most of the rest of the fans out there do, but I enjoyed it. Especially with how good Zack Ryder's doing on NXT with Mojo Rawley and the Hype Bros. But that's another story for another day. Collar and elbow tie-up, and Slater bails immediately. The Outcasts do a Bo Dallas victory lap around. Back in the ring, dropkick by Ryder, a shoulder and a clothesline. Double knees and a missile dropkick by Ryder. Corner splash and a broski boot by Ryder. Somersault dive on all 4 of the Social Outcasts by Ryder. And then the match stops. We get a leg lariat and a DDT by Heath Slater, and that's the end of the match. For reasons. Give this match like 5 minutes on a pay-per-view, and it could be good. I know nobody's going to agree. Everybody's laughing at me as I say that, I know. But WWE needs a lower card. They just do. We have another Goldust and R-Truth thing. We got R-Truth and some random bitch. They're at a dinner place for Valentine's Day, presumably. And their waiter, of course, is Goldust, who tries in the most awkward way possible to open up a wine bottle and make it look like he's jerking off. Obviously, the cork pops out while he's pointing it at R-Truth's date. She gets soaked with Goldust's metaphorical cock. Which is great. After New Day had their promo earlier in the day, I forgot to mention this, where they're talking about playing the recorder and making it look like Big E's jacking off in the ring. Hashtag not quite PG. Lucha Dragons and Neville versus Sheamus, Rusev, and Alberto Del Rio. It's announced. There's an announcement before this match and an announcement after this match, but basically the sum total of it is that Alberto Del Rio versus Kalisto for the United States Championship is now a 2 out of 3 falls match. That's fucking great. I like that. I like that there's a stip on this. I like that there's a title involved in this. And I like the fact that by virtue of what stipulation it is, the match is going to be longer. It's not like these guys are going to be thrown out there with 5 minutes to kill. But United States Championship, Kalisto is one of your newest babyfaces on the roster. Alberto Del Rio can go like a lot of other people can't. 2 out of 3 falls match is going to be fucking phenomenal. What do? We put it on the kickoff. For reasons. Anyways, Kalisto and Rusev start off, bear hug by Rusev and head scissor by Kalisto and a cheap shot by Alberto Del Rio. The heels bail, and we have a triple dive spot by the babyface team, because this is Kalisto and Sin Cara and Neville versus Sheamus, Rusev, and Alberto Del Rio. We've got a moonsault by Neville on all 3 of the heels. We've got a moonsault by Kalisto on all 3 of the heels, and a suicide dive by Sin Cara. And I had to double check. I had to rewind and double check, because Sin Cara and Kalisto have gone with the whole Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio method of making their masks like half and half so that they match, and isn't it cute? Not really. Black hole slam by Rusev on Kalisto as we come back from commercial break. Del Rio tosses Kalisto into the rail on the outside. Stomps in a choke by Sheamus, who hangs him out on the ropes for a cheap shot by Alberto Del Rio. Cheap shot on Neville by Sheamus and a DDT by Kalisto. Pendulum kick from Sin Cara on Alberto Del Rio and a crossbody head scissor and a chop by Sin Cara. Neville super kicks Sheamus. Rusev roundhouse kicks Neville. Kalisto crossbodies Rusev out of the ring. The smallest guy in the match, I don't care, I like Kalisto, don't get me wrong. The smallest guy in the match crossbodied the largest guy in the match out of the ring. This is straight up Rey Mysterio Big Show bullshit. But anyways, Sin Cara tosses out Alberto Del Rio and hits him with a suicide dive. A step up insecurity by Sin Cara on Alberto Del Rio. Double stomp by Alberto Del Rio on Sin Cara, who's hanging from the ropes. He's got him in the double stomp position the way he normally would in the corner, sort of in the second rope, sort of holding himself up to receive the move. But he's doing it in the middle of the rope as opposed to in the turnbuckle. So Del Rio does a fair bit of a jump to get to him to do the double stomp, and it makes it look a little bit dirtier, and it makes the fall look a little bit more awkward and a little bit more painful. So props to them for that. League of Nations win off that double stomp. It builds towards the match on Sunday. That's going to be great. And beyond the pre-show. For reasons. Anyways, we see a video of Naomi and Tamina attacking Becky Lynch in the back, because Naomi versus Becky Lynch is happening tonight on Raw. So, people didn't like it last week. I thought, you know, the best I can. I don't like Naomi. You guys think that makes me a racist because some of you are crazy. I really tried last week to give Naomi a fair shot. I said I will look at what she does in the ring and I will give my fair analysis. I'm going to try to do that again tonight. Short match, so you're not going to have very many opportunities to do that, but here we go. Rabid forearms and a stiff exploder suplex by Becky Lynch starts the match. Naomi does those dancing kick things that she did on SmackDown, where she's basically kicking her legs up on either side of her opponent and very, very clearly making no contact whatsoever. Becky works the midsection. She perches Naomi on the turnbuckle. Basically, Naomi takes a dive at her that's ugly, basically makes her land so that she's sitting on a turnbuckle and her face hits the other turnbuckle, so she's basically perched and basically helpless. Pinning reversal sequence and leads to a quick disarmer and Becky gets the win. So all Naomi did in this match was a stupid dance move that was supposed to be kicks. Naomi sucks. Oh yes! After the match, the jobbers double team Becky Lynch. Sasha comes in, chases them away, because, oh my god, the last thing we want is a fair numbers game and a 2-on-2 confrontation. Oh yeah, Sasha and Becky should be doing better things than this. Oh my god, this match on Sunday is such a foregone conclusion, it's fucking ridiculous. We hear that Lesnar will be on SmackDown, which they've been reinforcing all night, which is kind of cool. The fact that Lesnar hasn't been on SmackDown in a dozen years, as both Mauro Ranallo and Michael Cole put it. You could just say 12. That's a thing. You could just say 12. And, predictably, the Dudleys versus Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns is going to happen on SmackDown, which I don't have a problem with at all. And the main event, because this is the main event for reasons, Braun Strowman versus The Big Show. Like I say, the only solace we can take from this, guys, is that they're not going to do Braun Strowman versus The Big Show at WrestleMania, because that was the rumor, wasn't it? Or Braun Strowman versus the fucking Undertaker, which I've also heard, which is also ludicrous. Braun Strowman versus The Big Show. Wyatt comes out, and here's the thing that's kind of sad. Wyatt cuts a fucking hell of a promo on them destroying the Titans of the WWE, which is awesome until you remember who the Titans of the WWE are. Strowman and Big Show have a boring big man match that I didn't bother to write notes on because the Wyatts come in relatively quickly. There's a quick 4-on-1 beatdown. Ryback comes out to make the save, and he gets beaten down. Kane comes up through the ring to make the save, and the Wyatts bail from a situation where they still had a definite 4-on-3 advantage, which makes the Wyatts look like shit, doesn't it? Oh, man. There was some good stuff on this show tonight. There really was. I won't defend it, though. It's a very 50-50 show. Kind of Kevin Owens winning the Intercontinental Championship and immediately being thrown into a match on Fastlane is cool. I don't mind that. We've got the triple threat coming up. We've got the U.S. title match that's now on the pre-show. We've got Styles versus Jericho coming again. We got 2 Divas matches. Here's the one thing I will say. I don't like Del Rio and Kalisto being moved to the pre-show, but it's nice to see that WWE didn't automatically default and throw one of the women's matches onto the pre-show. That's the only thing I can say good about that. We're going to see something with these 3 big boring guys versus the Wyatts at Fastlane, probably. And it's going to be boring because it's going to be Harper, Rowan, and Strowman, isn't it? With Bray Wyatt just sitting there telling them what to do. And Harper, Rowan, and Strowman without Wyatt in the match is boring as sin, guys. Let's be real. Fastlane does still have enough on it to make me incredibly... I am well more excited about Fastlane than I was about this show tonight. Let's be real. All things being equal, I should be doing the tackle for Fastlane with Guapo and Black Cat Feline tomorrow night. So look for that late tomorrow night or early Wednesday morning. I will have, of course, NXT and SmackDown reviews for you guys for the rest of the week leading into Fastlane. Let me know what you think of... this Raw, what you're thinking about Fastlane down in the box below. As I said at the beginning of the video, please go check out those Daniel Bryan and Titus O'Neil videos I did over the course of the weekend. I had a lot of fun doing them, and I got a lot of stuff off my chest, if I want to be real with you guys for a second. So I do please beseech you and encourage you to go check out those 2 videos and tell me what you think, even if you think I'm a fucking asshole. It's better than nothing, right? Anyways, I've been Spaz, your YWC reality check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I will talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.